he ended up finding a black bag. And when he found the black bag, y'all, you know, I'm trying to play cool and shit like that, but I really didn't know that the bag was in there type shit. I didn't know. So I was just like, damn, we about to go to jail. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome to my channel. My name is Its.AprilMichelle. And based off the title, you can already see what this video is gonna be about. So yeah, y'all, we're gonna jump right into this story time. Your girls got another story for y'all. So yeah, grab your popcorn and let's get into it. Okay, y'all, so this story time is about when I went to jail, y'all, 4th of July. And this happened a few years ago, but it's a story time, so I'm about to tell a story. So yeah, so y'all, so tell me why. Okay, so I was dealing with this dude, y'all. I was dealing with this dude at my job I was working at during the time. And it was like a grocery store and stuff like that. We both were managers and stuff like that. I was like team lead and he was like the floor manager and stuff like that. So, you know, when we first started chilling and hanging out, you know, we was just, you know, he was the green man and stuff like that. So, you know, I used to buy stuff from him and stuff like that, you know, get discounts and stuff like that, you know. Pretty much just how it started, you know, stuff like that. So it was cool. So one day, you know, this was like we just started talking. Like this is like the beginning. It's probably like 2 months since me and him was like talking. I haven't been to his house yet, but we was like, you know, smoking in the car, stuff like that, you know, chilling, like, you know, stuff like that. And we haven't had sex and stuff. So mind you, me and him chilling, stuff like that. And this particular day, I had to work and he didn't have to work. So I went to work, whatever like that. And he came to pick me up when I had got off. So when he came to pick me up, we went straight to his house, and we went straight to his house. He grabbed a few things, and I didn't know what he was getting exactly, but I know he said he had to run to the house to get some stuff real quick. So I was like, okay, cool. And I sat in the car with him like that. We pulled up to his apartment. You know, he went in the house, got him, you know, a few things and stuff like that, a bag and stuff like that, right? So yeah, so we end up riding to our destination where we was going. And when we was headed to that destination, the police had pulled us over, y'all. But the reason why the police had pulled us over was because back then, his car had saran wrap on the windows because his windows was broken. So he had saran wrap on the driver and the passenger side. So, you know, we was saran the fuck out. I ain't trying to curse so early, but we saran out, y'all. So yeah. So the police ended up pulling us over because, you know, how the car was looking. So he pulled us over. You know, mind y'all, we was smoking while we was headed there. So like when he pulled us over, you know, the car, it smelled like smoke. It was no way for us to get rid of that fast because he literally came off a back street while we was coming, like we was going straight and he was coming like this way. Like, and he was sitting at the stop sign. So when we passed by, whatever like that, he ended up just getting us when we had passed by. Whatever like that, if y'all get it, or whatever. So yeah, so he ended up pulling us over. And y'all, mind y'all, this is 4th of July weekend. So I feel like, you know, this is the day after 4th of July. Yeah, this is the day after 4th of July. So, you know, everybody did all their partying, you know. I had a few, you know, tabs and shit like that in my bag. You know, from, you know, the night before, because, you know, we went to go party and stuff, you know, and I forgot I had them in my bag because, you know, I didn't take them, but I forgot I had them. And when he came to pick me up from work, y'all, like, when, I know I'm skipping around, but it's gonna make sense. So when he picked me up from work, right, he took me straight to my house, right? And I had grabbed my purse and I had took off my uniform. I had changed real quick and I had put on my purse because I wanted to go, you know, ride with him. Well, when he was going, I was about to just chill with him type shit because I was already off work or whatever. So he came and got me. Mind you, you know, I'm getting dressed real quick. I grabbed the purse that I had from the night before. not thinking what was in it, nothing like that. I just grabbed the purse because it was going with what I had on. So I grabbed the purse. And ladies, you know, if you know, like when you have purses, sometimes you switch out your stuff. Like sometimes you put, like, you know, every time you get a different style and you wear a different style or if like that, you want your purse to match your, you know, aesthetic. So, you know, you always switching. So this day, particular day, I just grabbed the purse. I didn't even look inside of it. I just knew I needed something to be on my shoulder. So I get the purse, you know, go back downstairs to the car. And now we headed to his house. So this is when we headed to his house, right? Yeah, so now we headed to his house. After he picked me up from work, we went to my house. I changed, grabbed my purse, and then now we headed to his house to get some stuff. So we go to his house and we get in some stuff, whatever like that, right? And we end up leaving. So mind you, when we leaving from his house to head to our next destination, we was smoking in a car. And when we was smoking, y'all, the police done pulled us over, y'all. Pulled us over. Yeah. So we was smoking, y'all. It was smoke all in the car. It was nothing we can do. So, you know, the police, you know, he asked us questions and stuff like that, you know. And, you know, he was asking if we was smoking and stuff like that. And I was pretty much, the guy I was with, he was saying that, you know, it was a doobie, you know, and it's gone. You know, there's nothing else in here type shit. You know, it's gone. Or like that. And officer, you know, how they be, you know. He was just pretty much like, oh, okay, well, can I check, you know, the car whatever like that and stuff like that? Are you sure it's nothing else in here? Blase, blase, blase. And the dude, he was saying, yes, you know, I'm sure it's nothing else in there. It's nothing else in here, stuff like that. And stuff like that, right? And the guy car, I'm not saying it was dirty, but he was the type of person that had a lot of stuff in his car. So he might have like a lot of clothes and a lot of other stuff, but it wasn't dirty. It was just he had a lot of clothes and stuff in it, like from work or whatever the case may be. So I didn't know what was back there, y'all. I ain't gonna lie, I didn't know what was back there. I just seen a lot of clothes and stuff like that, and it's not my business. I was just in the car riding, so we was riding. So when the officer asked him was anything in there, you know, he was saying no or whatever like that. And then the police, you know, he checked the vehicle or whatever like that. He ended up finding a black bag. And when he found the black bag, y'all, you know, I'm trying to play cool and shit like that, but I really didn't know that the bag was in there type shit. I didn't know. So I was just like, damn, we about to go to jail. That's what I was thinking. I was like, damn, we about to go to jail. So he, the police officer come, you know, he telling us and showing us what he found in the bag and, you know, what was in there and stuff like that. And he was trying to have one of us, you know, confess that it was our bag. And me being me, I'm not the type of person that's gonna ever rat out nobody. So it's like, I ain't saying nothing. That's just who I am. I just wasn't saying nothing. So, you know, he kept asking, he kept pressing. He was like, are you sure, you know, you don't know who this for or whatever like that? And we were just like, no, and stuff like that. But he was pretty much, I was saying no, but he was saying pretty much that it was his homeboy, whoever like that, and he was on his way to go pick him up, and you know, he left it in there from the night before, because you know, the night before was 4th of July. So, you know, the story made sense, you know what I'm saying? And I thought we was cool. I thought we was good. We was gonna, you know, yeah, no, it never gave that. It didn't get it at all. That man, he was determined to take us to jail. So pretty much he ended up asking me to get out the car, whatever like that. The police officer asked me, the passenger, to get out the car, and he put me in handcuffs and put me in the police officer car, right? And I'm just like, it was weird, right? But when he did that, he ended up coming to the police car and asking me questions by myself. I guess he thought, you know, putting me by myself, I was gonna, you know, say whatever, or, you know, agree to whatever he want me, or he think that I'm gonna agree to, and it didn't give that. It didn't give that at all. So he was pretty much like, you know, asking questions like, you know, he was not asking questions. He was telling me, he was like, I know it's not yours. I know it's not yours. I know it's not. So can you just tell me who it's for? I was like, oh, I'm sorry, sir. You know, I'm not sure who it's for. I literally just got off for work. I'm not sure. I don't know who it's for. And then, you know, just stuff like that. I'm not sure. I don't know. And I stood on it. I stuck to it, whatever like that, y'all. I POP held it down. And guess what? My ass went to jail. Me and him both went to jail. And the thing was, like, the police officer was like, he's not gonna, he kept asking me like, oh, he's not gonna say it's his, he's not gonna tell. I was like, sir, I'm not sure. I don't even know if he even know who it's for. All I know is I didn't know that it was inside the car and stuff like that. I can't speak for nobody else, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't be trying to get me to say something for somebody else. I can't speak for nobody. I can only speak for myself. So yeah, I was just telling him like, I don't know. So at that point, you know, they called the female officer to come down, whatever like that, to check me and stuff like that, and they took us both downtown. And then when they took us both downtown, you know, they pretty much booked us. We got booked the day after 4th of July. We got booked, and it was the weekend of 4th of July. So y'all, we was there all night. We didn't get out to the next day, literally. Like, we was there. When we got there, you know, they checked us in, did our fingerprints and all that, whatever. And like, we sat in the whole waiting room for a long time until, you know, we went to go see the judge and all of that. And we ended up getting released the next day. Not even the next day, we got released the next night. Like at 9, 10 p.m., we was walking out the back doors. Like, and then not even we, cause that night I ended up getting released, and he had his homeboy come pick me up, cause his homeboys come to pick up both of us, but they didn't let him out because they were saying that I guess it was too late or whatever the case may be, that he had to get out in the morning. So his friend ended up dropping me off at home, and they had to come back and get him the next day. So y'all, all that happened. It wasn't even worth it. It wasn't worth it, and it honestly taught me a valuable lesson. I honestly, when we got out of jail, we had to do 1 year probation, y'all. 1 year probation. Once a month, we had to go see our POs and do a piss test, and then we also had to go to like this class or something like that, and we had to watch like videos or talk or whatever the case may be, pretty much like doing our time, like, you know, putting in our time. And during that whole experience, I was just so young. I'm thinking like, you know, we went through this experience together, and mind you, we wasn't together, but that experience together, I felt like, you know, oh, you know, let's try this out type shit. Dumb. Try this out type shit. Let's see how this go. And it already was starting off bad. You already went to jail for a nigga, like, bro. And I know I'm not the only person that did this before, so yeah. If it don't apply, let it fly. But this is my story time, and you have to go through things sometimes to grow, okay? Sometimes you gotta go through things to learn and improve. And this is my story, y'all, because I wouldn't do it again. I'm gonna make sure I know what's in the car or whatever the case may be, and if that person know what it is or what it ain't, most definitely you know this is your stuff, and you most definitely gonna take your charge. You're not about to be like you don't know and blase and both of us take it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if anything, say, oh yeah, she didn't know, she wasn't there, because she don't know, she wasn't there, she don't know. So that was the experience. It was very terrible. It taught me a lot, y'all. It taught me a lot, because I literally just got off of work, y'all, and just want to go hang. Just want to go chill, being hot. Just want to go chill, and my ass ended up in jail. And it wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth it. And yeah, y'all, it was terrible. It was terrible. I know this is a short story, but y'all, it was terrible. It was terrible. But it was a lesson learned, and I know better now. But yeah, y'all, I just have to tell y'all that story time about when I went to jail, y'all. And they had the POP hold me down on the outside. I was just there for 24 hours, but still, it's like, that was a long time. I'm not a jailbird. I don't do that. Like, you just got one time to clink and take me, and I promise you don't got to worry about me ever doing that again. I'm cool. I'm cool. I don't want no smoke. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, like, y'all, this is the end of this story. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so you can be notified every time I drop a video. Bye, guys.